Yo, 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 what's up, amigos? Hope you guys are doing well. Doing a recap today, continuation from yesterday. Um, I don't know if I could do this consistently every day, but I think there may be a lesson here because you got to focus on the good and the bad. You have to do a bit of learning curve. I had a good win. Um, I think so far it's one of the best ones of the year, but I definitely don't feel much emotions, and I don't know if that's something I have to dig into or if that's just maturity. Definitely focused more on how do I improve it. I already know some ways, some flaws that I made, um, and I didn't know that until I was thinking about this. So the video is going to be about that. It's just a recap. It's more of an option play. So if that's something that interests you, I can go over how I trade options and one of the cool nuggets, the takeaway maybe would be that how to basically risk manage better, how to hedge positions better. That's a golden nugget that I learned the hard way after taking a bit of losses. Um, yeah, that's what the video is going to be about. I always try to give a heads up if you want to stay till the end. Um, the other thing, again, I'm going to do my best to recap in a way so that it's selfishly for myself, so that I can consistently do this for long term. And I'm gonna try and be a bit more vocal. Last video when I saw I was just typing it out. So I'll be vocal, but I'll still do my best to pretend that nobody else is here. And I'm just going to recap and hopefully become a little better trader as it consistently life progresses. So RDBX, as you guys saw from yesterday, I was short, swing short, in the previous video. If you haven't seen it, go take a look. And I broke my rules that day, and today it was. I'm thankful that I didn't trade much. I just had Cowell short and RDBX short and a swing from yesterday, and I managed it relatively well. Okay, so do I recap here? So this is, let's see if they let me write here. So these are so all of these are relatively short positions. So I have a put short. I'm long puts and short calls basically. I had some vertical call spreads. This is the end of the day. So let's see if I do this. Okay, so same concept every day, same thing. What did I do good? So I did good. By the way, I would love to see Lance's report cards. I think I want to see somebody else's report card that's better than mine. And I've seen a lot of SMB examples, but if anybody has good report cards, let me know. I love to improve. So what's good? Let's see, RDBX. I'm pulling it up in a different screen. RDBX. The good thing is, good job on realizing that today is the day to hold or hit harder. Good job on not being too greedy and selfish in the sense of adding to puts because of time decay and volatility. The other thing I did good is good job on holding position until a clear indication that it would bounce, which was at 9. At sub 9, it stalled. And also, good job on having orders sitting out there to fill cover. Okay. What else did I do? Good job on reshorting. Good job on vocalizing the reshort area. Reshort area 11:20. So that was my first short entry all day, which I was proud of because I missed the morning. And then added to winner and added to winner. Good job on realizing that be less short on puts due to time decay and more short on calls. So I don't know if this is complex or not. This is hopefully it may benefit somehow. Basically, just from trading experience, 2 red days. If you're buying the puts, so let's say the first day happens, right? Again, if you've seen some of my recaps and my posts, I go when I'm in the money. By the way, because I was a loser for such a long time, I had, by loser I mean my mindset was adding to losing positions. And then I remember feeling a lot of emotions. So after a certain period of time, what I have did is, this is a cool golden nugget. I reversed my mindset. I tried to create semi fear and anxiety. Fear and anxiety are not the correct word, but a way to induce myself to put on risk. So when things happen and I'm like, where can I put on risk? How do I put on risk? When I'm in the money. So that's a good habit to have, and I would encourage that. So today was day 2. Obviously, the stock is ran. The stock post merger. Maybe I need to do another video, or maybe not. I'm not sure. But basically, what's happening in RDBX? It's a post merger. It's worth 40 cents. And shout out to Dilution Tracker. You guys should follow him. He's a good person. And also shout out to Short Bear because I've learned a lot from him in terms of holding to winner and having bigger picture thesis. But the long story short of it is RDBX has a 42-45% short interest rate. Post merger, it's worth 45 cents. They basically make it's like a vending machine for DVDs or something of that nature. It's a dying business, so it's a fundamental shorts. They're stuck, and because of the merger, they can't dilute. It's a very cool structure. Both sides make sense. The hell with people that have the stupid mindset that, oh, it's short versus long, it's me versus them. That's an idiotic mindset. That's a toxic, horrible, horrible mindset. If you want to stay in the game, it's not versus me versus them, short versus long. That's my opinion, and I believe that strongly. It's just you just have to be very open-minded and listen to both perspectives. A wise and a smart person always listens, even if they know the answer. They listen. So, long story short of it is, I think both sides make sense. So somebody was potentially knew that, hey, because of merger, they cannot dilute, they cannot do an ATM, they cannot do an offering unless they cancel the merger, and also there's a massive short interest. So somehow, if there were some cahoos and some metric of communication, they could basically cause a short squeeze, which is what happened here. And then the other reason why I was shorting it and I have a conviction on short is it's on Reg Show, and I got an opportunity. I was potentially told, or I heard some of my friends, let's say whatever variable. I basically had an idea that the shorts were not 3 consecutive days back to back. It was not delivered. They couldn't deliver the shorts. So there was some short squeeze stuff going on, which is awesome. I love that stuff. The best short is when there's no longs. So in a short squeeze, when it's up higher, it's just a short squeeze. It's like a bubble. Okay, going back, good job on realizing being more shorts. Okay, so I had a lot of puts yesterday because it was the first red day and I swung the position. I was 80-85% in puts, 10-15-20% in calls. And that was just because I was cheap. I didn't want to pay for the locates, and also I like playing the options. Today, I was near the end, I was short a lot more calls, and I reduced my put position drastically. So an improvement we can get to right here that I could write about is make a plan, make this neat, cool plan ahead of time that I should be more in shorting calls today versus puts. So today in the morning I hesitated. To put on more risk because puts could have drifted. Yesterday the puts, even though the stock had ended, I wish I had a picture of yesterday. Basically the stock went from like $17-18, which is where I had the puts, and I went to $13. I didn't make money on my puts, which was really sad, and it kind of sucked. It went to 15. I had a the 15 puts. Um, so you have to time it correctly, and there's implied volatility, which increases the price and blah blah blah. So that's the reason, and I'm happy that I didn't do that. And I didn't realize that till later on. It didn't register, so that's a big improvement for me. So next time when I'm playing the core position, or I have a long-term thesis, be more short incentive. For tomorrow, what I'm gonna do, and you guys better not take my idea. I'm kidding. If you do, just be careful. I'm gonna be more. I'm gonna be shorting the calls, and I have to improve it. Okay, short. I want to farm this name until whenever. I have no idea, but be shorting the calls, but be very meticulous on going long the stock at what price, given the share, given the amount of calls short, call short. Be very precise on this. Precise on this, as it can take a lot of buying power, and loss can expedite. Also, close a good portion and keep it closed. So, okay, let's make a trading plan for tomorrow while we're at it. So we're trying to improve. I want to farm this name every day. I'm gonna look at the 1 hour chart. Okay, I'll do it here. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'll do it this side. So basically, I'm looking for volume profile. I'm trying to find the level that it would be resistant. So $15. So if I was swing shorting this thing, 15 and 16, 15, 15, 50 would be my stop. So if it spikes into 13, 15, nah. If it spikes to 12, 15, basically I'm on a short 15 calls. That's the model that I got for tomorrow. And I hope not many people do it too, because it won't take out the liquidity. Be short the 15 calls. Be short the 15 calls. So that's the improvement. And farm every day, and then just lower it every day. So the other thing is, if I'm short the 15 calls, if it spikes a little, I have to pre-calculate how many shares to go long at what price. Again, please don't, if you're a new trader, don't do this, because This is how I took a big loss. I had an overnight position on Kodak. Um, I was short the calls because they had convertibles. I thought they were dumping it, and it closed red on the name. And I was like, okay, it's not a lot of calls, whatever else, just keep it. And the next day, it went up like 2,000% against me. So don't do it. So if I'm short of 15 calls, I have to premium. The way it would work is if you're short 15 calls tomorrow, if it pushes, and let's say you get 70 cents, 80 cents premium, that means your break even is at 15.80. And I will, and you have to know how far it is. So if it's like 2 days, 3 days, the right move would be to go long at like 15.20s if it holds above, or 15.50s. But you have to really adjust your buying power to that because it could it gets nasty really quick. So um, depending on the premium collected, potentially go long at 14.80 to 15.20 if it holds above it. Just be ready ahead of time. Be ready ahead of time and don't have it too far out. Okay, so that's how I can improve, and the trading plan for tomorrow. What else? Obviously, the big improvement is I should have in the morning realized I'm not perfect, but I should have realized that I thankfully I didn't sell in the morning the puts. I covered really good amount, probably like more than half or 2/3. I think 2/3 into the nine when I went below 890s and I saw a flip stall, and then I reshorted at 1120s. So I held for that, which is really cool. So you gotta wait for a higher low. I guess the other thing I could write, even though I did a good job here, I need to write it again. Uh, Wait for higher low or failed breakdown to exit. This way you capture a good portion of it and write out levels more often. Okay. Now overall, this type of play, the grade was, I would say A plus, probably A plus plus if I was focused, and if I had equities and I had shares, for sure I would have shorted the morning. No questions asked. 100%. All these pushes versus 13.10, 13.20, 100% I would have shorted that. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know what I would have covered. Probably was scalped around and wouldn't have done an amazing job because it's a tough one. Risk management today on this name. Risk management didn't really get much. Wasn't really used because my first add to swing was at 11.20. So risk management, I would say, was A plus because of good entries and because of writing it. Quarterly goal of hard stops. I didn't use hard stops options and also good entries, so I'll just give it 2 out of 2. Just gonna pretend I did 2. So entered Y above revop exhaustion, and I had room. So 11.20 to 11.70. I would have added into 11.70s if it pushed. Entered exhaustion and exit equal failed breakdown. Okay, so that's that recap right there. Ah, oh, dang. Are you serious? Oh man. No. Okay. I guess recap didn't work. So maybe I'll go back on the video and I'll take a screenshot. But that's the recap for RDBX. I also traded cow, but I'm not gonna recap that. Um, I was in the morning. I was late. I didn't take it, and then short switched long, missed the exit. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it for RDBX. I hope uh, it was a good recap, and I think there was some. I feel like it was some good pointers that I wish I had known earlier. One of them being about risk management of options. You can basically go long the stock depending on. So if you're the reason if you're not shorting the calls, again, if you do this, don't. This not investment advice. Don't do this. But it's very dangerous. But if you are in that phase where you're doing that commonly, regularly prior to watching this video, basically you can be ready. You could short the calls and then know where your break even is, and just if it's the same day expiry, so if it's expiring today, you can short the call, but make sure you have enough buying power so that if it gets to that level, then you can go long the equity and hold into the close, so that basically nets out to be nothing, and you keep the profit. So that's a neat little aspect because options is often very illiquid, and if you're hitting the bid or hitting the ask, it gets very expensive. And the other golden thing is that we can always do better. Um, always strive to do more than what you have and what you can do, and try to learn from others. So, yeah, that being said, thank you. You guys, if you made it this far, subscribe and share it with somebody that it may help. So, take care, amigos.